On today's show, we're excited to have a very special guest joining us, singer-songwriter John Allan. John is making waves in the Christian music world with his powerful brand new single, Living God. John, thank you so much, man, for chatting with me.
Jacob, I am honored to spend time with you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. Well, let's get right into our conversation. For our viewers and our listeners that are not familiar with you, won't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey into music?
I live in Southern California. I am married to my wife, Crystal. We are expecting our first child next month.
Wow. Congrats.
Thank you.
What is it, boy or girl? Or
girl? Her name is Phoenix. And we are very excited. I love my wife. She's my best friend. We were dogs in our early 20s and we ended up getting married. So it's always cool when a friendship blossoms into something God had the whole time. I love art. I am very thankful for the opportunity to use my time here on this earth to give Him glory through music, through expression from my soul. And I live about 27 minutes from Disneyland, so that's
dangerous.
My second home. We're there every week.
Have you ever been to Disney World?
No, I was in Orlando last week, but we were by Universal Studios.
Okay. Yeah. Universal's pretty cool. Epic Universe just opened like a week ago, but we got to go early because living in Florida, and dude, it is fantastic. It's amazing. Really cool. So you got to do that sometime.
I can imagine, dude, when I walked out of the airport, I was in this outfit and I did not realize the humidity was going to suffocate
Suck the life out of you. It only gets worse, dude. It's May. By August and September, it's pretty bad. So anyway, well, John, what are so when I was first introduced to your music, I really enjoy your music, man. It reminds me a whole lot of like U2 stuff, Beck, Coldplay, et cetera, that genre. And I really, really love that. Who are some of your musical influences growing up, and who influences you now?
I am so honored to be compared to those artists. I love them. U2, incredible. Coldplay, the best. I love Bon Iver. Love Gang of Youths. I love The National. And I'm a huge fan of Christian music. I love to hear what people are doing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a huge supporter of Forrest Frank, to see what God has allowed him to be a part of in his artistic expression and how that's shifting everything. A legend. I'm just a fan of anyone who's killing it. And, you know, if you are out there doing your best, I salute it.
Yeah. My brother got to see Forrest in Nashville at Bridgestone about a month ago, and he played, I think the show was like 2.5 hours, and it was just him. Well, no, I take that back. Elevation Rhythm opened up for him, but Forrest, I believe, played for about 2.5 hours. He pretty much played all of his songs. But my brother said like he took like a good half hour in the set and did a whole worship thing and just worshiped, and like every chance that Forrest could get, he honored God and just talked about the Lord and did like a prayer, like a sinner's prayer. And I was like, dude, that's awesome, because like you said, his platform is really big right now.
Yeah, man. And you can tell there is something pure about what he's doing. He's very special. And even when he's talking, I mean, it's obvious that he has a relationship with the Lord. And You can just see it in his eyes, and so I'm pumped for him. And I think he's from SoCal, maybe.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Now yourself, are you involved with your church locally, or what's that look like for you?
Yes, I work full time at my local church, but it's more than a job. I mean, it's my life. It's the place where I met my wife and where I've met a lot of my best friends, and so it's a really um, God touched environment, and I'm thankful to be a part of His bride. So yeah, I lead worship every week, and I just had staff meeting this morning. It's a blast, man. It's
Yeah.
God times.
Yeah, that's cool. So tell us how the centricity thing happened.
Oh man, years ago I started creating um, for the King. I was writing songs, I was recording, making demos, and just doing anything to honor him through art. I grew up uh, with really special parents who always encouraged me to pursue um, artistic expression for his glory. I say that I grew up with Christian parents who also were not legalistic, and so they were always centered on him and holy and hey, son, seek the things of God, but also, um, you know, watch movies, listen to all of these fantastic 80s bands who have just pushed the limits. And that kind of formed a hunger for me to create. And so what happened was, I just had a lot of songs in my Dropbox,
Mm.
and I was just, putting out music with some of my God friends, and the Lord kind of linked James Duke and I together. I didn't know what he did. I just knew he was special and kind, and we kind of formed a God bond. And he was just like an older figure of encouragement and tenderness towards my soul. And we would just like talk. And I wasn't really seeking anything. Like I just want to go as hard as I can till I die. So whatever that looks like, I'm down to party as long as it's all gas, no brakes. And so it turned into this divine relationship with the label, and they wanted to go all gas, no brakes. And so I was like, well, let's get in the car, no seatbelts, let's go. And so now we're pushing, and so it's a good time.
Nice. Your latest single, Living God, would love that song. Like I said, reminds me of all the people that you've been talking about. Love that song, John. Tell us about that song.
Dude, how funny would it be if I sang like a cappella Living God right now? Just full 3 minutes. That'd be
Bring it.
great. Right? Yeah, I think I'll sing it for you right now. Um, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Living God is centered on three themes: wonder, praise, and sanctification. For my own life, I never want to be a Christian that boxes God in. I want to believe He can do the impossible every day. I believe the sea splitting, dead raising God is active today. And with that being said, that lives in the first line. I want to touch the robe that heals the sick. I'm not saying we are the people in that story. What I am saying is that I never want to be someone that stops reaching out for God, believing that He can heal, believing that He can make a way. And so that's kind of the wonder section. I want to rest my head on Jesus' chest, knowing that He is a fighter, but He's also a lover. He is a mighty king. He's a lion, but He's also the lamb. And there's an intimacy there that He allows because of who He is and who we are as His children. So just chasing after intimacy, chasing after the wonder. Then we explode up in the chorus. Living God, there is no other beside you. Living God, there is no other I bow to. Good times. Just, hey, everyone, let's hop in. Let's declare who He is and who we are. Uh, we are His children and we serve Him, and let's lift Him up. Let's worship Him. And then the sanctification theme, kind of sits in verse 3. You know, I want to praise you every chance I get. I want to sing until there's nothing left. I want to bless you by the way I live. I want to walk with you forever, living God. And when I'm singing that, you know, I like the line, I want to sing until there's nothing left, meaning whether I'm a kid or my 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, you know, or I'm an old man someday, I want to sing until there's nothing left. I want to walk with God on that sanctification journey. And so that's a lot of the message behind Living God. And it's kind of like a pilgrimage story of the bridge. You know, the garden feels less and less far away the closer that my heart gets to your flame. Jesus, let my country be your presence, meaning Jesus, let my everything be you. And so we are so proud of the song. We love it, and we're pumped that it's out. And you know, we really believe it's much more yours than it is ours, or it's yours and not mine. I just make the art that people would hopefully use it to encounter him and walk with him. So it's good times.
Oh, yeah. Well, John, this is a fan based podcast, and so we will have our viewers and listeners write in questions to their favorite artist. And we had a fan of yours. Her name was Brittany from Louisiana, and she wants to know the story behind your song "Dancing in the Moonlight."
Oh, wow. What up, Brittany? Thank you for your kindness. Honored to have this moment with you. So that is my second favorite song that the Lord's ever allowed me to be a part of. Right now, it's Northern Winds. I love Northern Winds. And Dancing in the Moonlight's number 2. I would say Living God's number 3. But Dancing in the Moonlight is huge for my soul. So it's a little personal, and it can relate to the masses. You know, that's my prayer. This song started from this memory I had when I was um, probably 9. We were at a New Year's Eve party, and it was a great time. Lots of family members, lots of friends. You know, my parents were there, and it was just an absolute blast. You know, and it's that family dynamic where there's like a lot of kids in one room, the parents are in the other, and everyone's like on party mode. It was like pure and chill and fun, but
Yeah.
everyone's laughing, having a good time. And I think we celebrated 9 p.m. New Year's because we were all kids. So you know the ball goes off in New York, and I had a relationship with God at that time, and I've been walking with the Lord since I was a kid, and this song like kind of makes me like get emotional. I don't think I'll cry in this moment. I felt a prompting from the Holy Spirit like when it hit New Year's to like go outside and be alone. And I have chills right now just talking about it. And I left this house when I was a kid, and it was a safe, beautiful neighborhood. And I love nighttime. I wish it was nighttime all the time. And the moonlight was hitting like the concrete, and it was just like, you know, suburban fever dream, like dim lit houses. The moon's out. The sky is black, and the moonlight's just kind of shimmering off the concrete. It reminded me of like the Prisoner of Azkaban, when Harry's in the woods and he sees himself with like the Patronus, I think it is. And I remember I was just dancing, praising God. I had like a tambourine thing, and I was alone, and I just remember being like undignified before the Lord, and that kind of started the whole song. And I remember um, writing the hook with like a violin on MIDI, and it's like a 3-4-1 progression, I think key of E, and you just come in with that massive violin hook, and I loved the way it was soaring over the progression. And it kind of just started with verse 2, where I was just like, I remember when I fell in love, dancing in the moonlight, set free by the Son of God, wonder in the night sky. He said to me, dance on this empty grave and watch every shackle break. There's a song within your soul. And it kind of like chases this sanctification hymn again. As the years go on, I pray my love grows deeper. As the years go on, I pray your voice gets stronger. I pray right before you call me home. I'm still dancing on these tired bones. As my body grows older, I pray my heart stays young. I might have missed a couple words, sorry. But my point is, I pray that my heart stays young and we're all dancing in the moonlight. Just young faith, childlike faith, you know. So, Brittany, that's for you. Thanks, Queen.
Yeah. Yeah. So you reminded me of something when you were talking about New Year's, and celebrating it at 9 p.m. or whatever. So when our kids, my oldest, he is 14, and my youngest is 11, and so it reminded me when they were small. Netflix has these like countdown to midnight cartoon thingies, and
Yeah.
they only put them out around New Year's, and it's like a 1 minute countdown, and it after it goes down to 0, it's like Happy New Year or whatever, and so we used to play it at New Year's at like 8 o'clock and say, "All right, here we go. We got 1 minute till till the New Year's," and play it, and our kids would then go to bed because there's no way they could have stayed up till midnight. And so yeah, that just reminded me of that, and
Dude,
good
that's
times.
awesome, bro. New Year's with the family, special. That's so cool. You get to experience that every single year.
Yeah, yeah. Well, John, when it comes to writing, how does that look for you? Are you a person that's continuously like doing voice memos or writing stuff down, or just like words here and there? What's that look like for you?
Yeah, it's both. I lean towards melody first, and so typically it's my soul singing something, that God has planted, and then He lets me find it. Thank you, Lord. And then I kind of just hum it into my voice memo. Sometimes I'm writing words, writing ideas, writing themes. Like I think I have right now in like my notes app, like this, like it just says God is young, and it's just this like idea that like He lives outside of time. And I think sometimes we look at Him as this old Santa Claus distant figure, but He's really like the coolest first artist, breed stars, and He's coming back again. Like He's so sick, the Lord is so cool. So this idea like God is young is just sitting in my notes app right now. So I don't know what will come of that. We'll see. But yeah, man, always chasing ideas. I think with Christian music, you have to be careful because people are going to believe something about God based on what you say. And so I'm always, trying to push the limits of like imagery and feel. Like Dance in the Moonlight, that's a wild song. Like, but it's faith based and the themes are there. But just always making sure that what I'm saying is rooted in Scripture, because at the end of the day, I don't want to mislead someone's faith or someone's belief based on my emotional vibe in a moment. Oh, felt good. Which sometimes that works, but you just got to have balance. Got to have broccoli with the Oreos. Balance it out. It's kind of the songwriting lane.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, with first time guests, we like to do a thing called favorite things. And so, John, I will just give you a word, and you will give me your favorite thing in that category. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. First one is, what is your favorite food?
I love vegan buffalo wings with ranch and fries. I'm vegan. Um, and there's a restaurant called Veggie Grill in SoCal, and I love their buffalo wings.
Okay, nice. What about a favorite movie?
Oh man, I have a list on my notes app. I'm just gonna rapid fire: Perks of Being a Wallflower, The Dark Knight trilogy, Interstellar. I love Quentin Tarantino. Yeah, man, too many. The Prestige. Um, No Country for Old Men, The Dark Knight. Yeah, man, there's so much going on with
A
movies.
lot of good ones.
I love them.
What about, is there a favorite show that you like to watch or binge?
Oh, love shows. Stranger Things is crazy. I just watched the announcement date for season 5. That show wrecks me. Stranger Things, Breaking Bad, True Detective season 1, Ozark, The Office. Yeah, man, there's just so much art out there. It rips.
The Office, bro, that's my favorite. I can have that on in the background and be fine.
Dude, on the plane, I just watched, Goodbye Toby. Toby's leaving, and, Michael is just so pumped, and he's just, like, singing his song, Goodbye Toby, it's been nice, hope you love your paradise. And then he's just like, Toby!
You feel God up in this Chili's.
Yeah, bro. That's good.
My favorite is the one where, well, there's several, but when Toby comes back and he's trying to frame Toby and he goes out and and Michael thinks he's getting illegal drugs, and he gets like basil or something.
Yeah, bro. So good, man.
It's so funny. What
That's
about
so funny.
favorite musical artist of all time?
Probably U2, probably Bono, probably Bon Iver, Justin Vernon. Probably Justin Vernon.
Yeah.
That's
What
hard,
about,
man.
yeah. What about a dream duet?
Oh, dude. Bro, I love Wicked, man. So, anything in that lane would be cool. Like Cynthia Erivo, she just played Alphabet. It's crazy, man. She's crazy. That movie's. I watched it a bunch. I bought it and it dropped on Apple and or whatever. Yeah, man. And I just love anyone in the Christian space. Everyone's killing it, you know. So, anyone like Ben Hastings is so sick. Lauren Daigle rips. There's just a lot of heavy hitters making his name known, you know.
Yeah. What about a favorite ice cream flavor?
Oh, I'm vegan, so
Right.
Coconut milk base, probably vanilla, bro.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Is there a favorite podcast that you listen to?
Yours. This one right now.
Sure.
I don't listen to a ton of podcasts. I'm always like a sucker for what's popping. Like, if Joe Rogan has a killer guest on, I'm gonna watch it. He just had on that Christian dude who Wesley Huff, right?
Okay.
So good, man. Like just talking about faith and God, and super cool.
Did you hear he's going to church now, Joe Rogan?
I did hear that. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It'd be interesting to see what happens.
The best, man.
Yeah. Well, you passed. No controversial answers, and so, John, what do you have coming up next, and how can our viewers and our listeners keep up with you?
Oh man, well, you can always look up the socials. We all have them. To the King. Dude, we have so much art coming. We're pumped, man. We have a song coming soon. It's one of my favorites ever. It's going to be very special. A lot of great people are involved with it, and so that's exciting. And literally today, bro, getting mixes back. We have one mix finished, going to master. We have one song getting mixed right now. We have a bunch of stuff planned, so it's gonna be a wild God ride for sure.
Yeah. I think you should do some John Allan Christmas music.
That's a dope idea.
Yeah.
I have never thought about that, but I have thought like, man, it'd be cool to chase like what's that song? I don't even know, but like John Lennon did a Christmas song.
War is over. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's the best Christmas song of all time. And like stuff like that would be cool.
Yeah. You mean I want a hippopotamus for Christmas? That's not your favorite?
I don't think so.
Wait till you have your little daughter. She's gonna love all them little Christmas songs.
Dude. But yeah, bro. Yeah, I hope she does. I don't know what she's gonna like. I don't know if she's gonna be like me or her mom or what's gonna go on.
It's funny. Well, John, to wrap up, I'd like to see if you'd be willing to share something that God's been doing in your life recently that would help build our viewers and our listeners' faith.
Oh my goodness. Colossians 3 says, on the new self. That's what I would say to the viewers. His way is better. So, the Bible talks about the narrow road. And while, yes, it's narrow, it is the best path to walk. And so, live in the light. Don't run back to your vomit. And that's the truth, because he has something very special for everyone's life, but it starts with surrender. So hit that doorway and dance in the moonlight. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, John, Living God, your latest single is available now. Stream it, download it. Man, I appreciate you so much for chatting with me.
Hey, man. Honor is mine. You're amazing.